May, during this global crisis, our twins are born, Ellie and Jax, and that was a freaky moment. Our delivery day was scheduled in May, and we had to be there at 5 in the morning, and the delivery, because it was a C-section, was gonna happen at 7 in the morning. However, before we could even step foot into the living room, at 5 a.m. I had to drop Nadia off. She had to go inside while she's feeling contractions, crazy, and get COVID tested. And I just had to sit in the vehicle outside, just waiting until she had a negative test result. Nadia tests negative, the twins are born in this global pandemic, and now we're just staying at the hospital. And as Nadia sleeps, and as the babies sleep, I'm just trying to do my work, trying to stay on top of things.
Jax.
You love Jax?
I love Ellie and both of them.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep them then, okay?
Okay.
First night was rough. 2 is way harder than 1.
Now during this time, May, a new trend was beginning, a trend that I'm not used to. I'm not trying to brag, but I pride myself on working hard and keeping client satisfaction high. And this new trend was freaking me out. Client satisfaction in May dropped to 95.7%. June 2020 comes along, and now what my common sense told me, which was, okay, demand is gonna drop, values are probably gonna drop too, because there's not as many people buying, and it actually happened. The median price home sold in June 2020 was $405,000. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, I was right, my gut feeling was right, values are gonna start dropping because there's just not enough demand, businesses are being shut down, we have stay-at-home orders, it's just not looking bright for us. Client satisfaction at this moment is now 93.7%. Then July happens, and now I start scratching my head thinking, okay, I don't know anymore. What my logic tells me isn't happening. Because all of a sudden, during this shutdown, the median price home sold in Washoe County jumps from $405,000 to $435,000. This makes no sense to me. How is it possible that demand is growing when there's less jobs and less income? That just doesn't make sense to me at the moment. Now I mentioned that there's this trend, this unexpected trend, right? Well, now client satisfaction drops to 82.8%. August comes along and this trend continues. The median price home sold rises again to $444,900, and client satisfaction drops to an all-time low of 76%. That's never happened in my career, and it is freaking me out. I'm just thinking, how do I fix this? How do I stop this bleeding? How do I go from 96.5 to 76%? That just doesn't happen to me because we work extremely hard to keep client satisfaction high. Well, I'll tell you what was happening. Change was happening. Remember in March when I said that I came back and now the world was shut down? Well, that meant my office was shut down too. That meant that I had to come back, just grab my stuff, and everybody in our company now had to work from home. Now there's a lot of logistical changes that comes with this. When you've got your phone system set up a certain way, when you've got your operations set up a certain way, and then now you send hundreds of employees home to work, the phone systems that you now have don't connect to your home. So now you're having to readjust your systems and create internet phones and reroute things and forward calls and keep an eye on messagings in a whole different way. But at the same time, demand keeps growing. People still want to buy homes, now driven because of the low interest rates. And then another bubble is growing, which is the refinance bubble. Demand for refinancing goes through the roof. Highest level of refinances that I've seen in my 15-year career. And naturally, when demand rises and you're not prepared for it, and I'm not just talking about me not being prepared for it, I'm talking about an industry, the mortgage industry, the real estate industry not being prepared for the surge of demand that all of a sudden happened, then you start having unexpected delays. To give you an example, you go and order an appraisal, and a job that normally takes 1 to 2 weeks to be completed is now taking 1 to 2 months. What people were used to, which was fast, quick, efficient, which is what we're known for, has now been impacted. because now the expectation that you've built for years has been hit, because now you can't operate the way that we're used to. Stay tuned to see what happens next as we close out the year.